Hello.
Wow. I was getting started up, and I'm like, is my mic gonna work today? I don't know why. I just had this weird feeling like my mic wasn't gonna work.
Well, I'm glad it's working because I hear you, so it's a positive.
That's always a plus. That is always a plus. We've been on hiatus for a little tiny bit, a couple of weeks without a regular show.
Yeah.
Lots of beer and a take type stuff. I even had beer and a take post today. Actually, our last one for the season posted today. As usual, it was filmed in Atlantic City while we were out enjoying our FPX for 2024, and it was one for the ages. Actually, it was 2 beers and 2 different takes for the day.
Yeah, what was it? It was the Stone Cold I was gonna say American Lager. What was it? Is it called American Lager? No.
It's called the Broken Skull American Lager.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's not the Stone Cold. It's a Broken Skull.
That's right, not Stone Cold, obviously, because that would be owned by WWE.
Right.
I know. I went to law school. I took a copyright class. I know.
You know it's wild. Shameless plug. I was watching. I was listening to older episodes of Stone Cold's podcast, the Steve Austin Show, and it's on Audible now. So I was listening to an older episode. Excuse me. And in that older episode, he had Post Malone on.
I saw this. You tweeted this.
And it was 2017. It was 2017 Post Malone. So this is 8 years ago now. Around about 7.5 to 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're talking about beer. And apparently back then, Post Malone was very much into beer. By the way, I love Post Malone. He's a great. Like, first of all, I love his music, and then second of all, the things that he does, a lot of it is just so kind-hearted. Like, he doesn't need to be that way, but he is anyway. And I really dig Post Malone. But 2 things I found really interesting. One, you said on our show that, like, you were like, oh yeah, Stone Cold makes an IPA, and I just find that to be so weird because, like, Stone Cold's not an IPA guy.
Yeah.
And then Stone Cold came out and was like, I fucking love IPAs.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. What's that? It was IPA guy. It was that tossing him.
That's not a Stone Cold beer, is what you said.
Yeah, like just like the Stone Cold and the ring beers. I get like he might like it as the man, like he's still a human, but as a Stone Cold persona, and like throwing beers through, like you don't want to sit there and just start chugging IPAs into you. Like those are Budweisers or Steve Weisers,
Well, yeah, because first of all, he said he came out and said I never drank the same beer all the time because we didn't want anybody thinking that I had a sponsorship deal with any one company.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they would switch the beers. He's like, some days it'd be Miller, some days it'd be this, some days it'd be that, some days, he goes, it got real bad when it got down to the Keystones and the Natty Lights. It got real bad.
Those are the best. Keystone.
And he goes, what I really like is IPAs, but I can't make IPAs because I started putting on the weight drinking all the IPAs.
Interesting.
So when I started, and this is 2017, he hasn't made he hasn't met up with El Segundo yet.
Yeah, he hasn't made the beer yet. Yeah.
The Broken Skull line, and he's like, I think I just finally found my mix where I can make an IPA, and it won't be too bad on the calories. And I was like, oh my God, I'm listening to it happen.
Yeah.
Years ago. That's like really interesting stuff. And then, what I tweeted about was that in that same episode, Post Malone came out and was like, I love country music, but I hate pop country, like modern, what people call country. It's really pop country. And I hate pop country. He's like, it all sucks. Anything after like 2005, Tim McGraw is trash. And I was like, why? How the turntables?
Yeah, I mean, you think about the album that he had. I mean, I love the country album, excuse me, that he made. I actually love it, but he has Morgan Wallen, he has like Ernest.
Listen, I dig it, man. Like I said, I'm a big Post fan.
Combs,
I like Post Malone.
No, I actually like his country album because I think it wasn't like I don't know, I don't know, people would not care on viewers or not, but when Beyonce did an album, like I think it wasn't really country. Like that's not was a country. Like Post Malone made a country album. Like it is country. You hear the slide guitar, like the.
I don't think anything today is country music. It's
different than what
Bon Jovi
we grew up with.
It's Bon Jovi.
Yeah, the '90s country was awesome. There's a guy now, Zach Top. If you listen to country music, he's very good. He reminds me of Alan Jackson, like 1990s Alan Jackson. If you like that kind of like old school 1990s country, like Zach Top is for you. He's awesome. But yeah, I feel like there's still aspects of country in Post Malone songs or his country album as opposed to maybe that Beyonce.
Again, it's all Bon Jovi these days, right? It's Bon Jovi.
Yeah, it's not my father's country, that's for sure.
Throw a Southern accent on, right? Throw a little banjo in there, and sing a rock song from 1995 that's upbeat. If you were to take "Living on a Prayer" and put a banjo with a Southern accent, it's a country song in 2024.
That's true.
Matter of fact, even Shabuzi, who everybody was bitching that he didn't win a CMT award, right? Country Music Award. Shabuzi literally took a rap song from 2005, 2004, changed one word, sang it with a fucking Southern accent, and put a little banjo in the background. And now it's a country music song. And everybody's mad that he didn't win. Oh, it was the most popular country music song. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was in the club in Mexico in the summer of 2004, listening to Jaquan sing the exact same song.
Yeah.
The only difference is that Jaquan, everybody in the club was getting tipsy, and Shabuzi, everybody in the bar is getting tipsy.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking song, though, guys. Like, it really is.
It really is. No,
but I just thought it was really interesting that Post Malone was like, anything after 2005 is all country pop country. I hate it. It all sucks. Meanwhile, he's topping the charts for pop country. And I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit of a hypocriticizer. A little bit.
Hey, man, whatever makes that money roll in.
Listen, I don't have a problem with people making money. I have a problem with hypocrisy. So if you want to sit there and say, yeah, I said it, and I'm a hypocrite, and I'm a hypocrite for it, hey, okay. At least you know. At least you know. I can't stand the people that are like if you're a thief and you're insisting you're not a thief, I ain't got a problem with that. But if you're a thief and you're like, yeah, I stole it from everybody, I'd be like, well, he knows. Okay. It's like a self-deprecating humor where you say something that's true. Like Kevin Smith makes fat jokes about himself because he was fat. And that way, like somebody else goes to say something negative and they're like, and he's like, well, yeah, I'm fat and I'm not really good with a camera as far as directing is concerned. And then everybody that's going to insult him is like, well, okay, well, at least he knows. I got nothing to say now. Took away my steam. Like Eminem at the end of 8 Mile.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't have a problem with. Listen, you want to be a hypocrite and make money that way? That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But at least come out and be like, yeah, I said what I said. And I was either admit you were wrong, which is fine. That's people are wrong. Shit happens. I was wrong earlier today, or I thought I was wrong about thinking I was wrong. Or admit you're a hypocrite and being like, listen, I'm doing what I got to do to make the money. It ain't about the art. It's about the money.
Well, I want to say
also fine. I don't give a shit.
Speaking of
make your money the way you want to make your money.
Speaking of like random stuff, because you brought that up, I was just looking on Twitter. Ron Duguay is dating Sarah Palin. Do you know this?
What?
Ron Duguay. He just posted a picture. Him and Sarah Palin are outside the Ranger game. They took a picture in front of like the Rangers logo. I guess they go to the game tonight. I'm like, this is so. And he posted a picture, I think, on like, I don't know, maybe over like the New Year's Eve break, like in between Christmas and New Year's Eve. It was him and a picture of her. He's like in a Rangers jersey, and he's like, like getting ready for the Ranger game again, and she looked like miserable, but she was in a Ranger jersey. And I was like, is that Sarah Palin? And yeah, ended up being that he is dating Sarah Palin.
Wow. Call up Lisa Ann. Let's make a Who's Nailing Palin with Ron Duguay.
Ron Duguay and Nailing Palin. Lisa Ann just gotta.
Which male porn star is gonna play Ron Duguay?
That is fun. Imagine. That'd be really
Holy
funny.
shit. Didn't Lisa Ann get kicked out of MSG or something like that?
Who did?
Didn't Lisa Ann get kicked out of MSG?
I don't know. No, did she get kicked out of MSG? Oh, she went to the she might have.
She took out her phone. She took out her phone at Matt Rife's comedy thing.
It was something like that. It might have been not the MSG, but maybe the theater at MSG.
Oh, it was Radio City.
Radio City. There it is.
It was Radio City. So she went to Matt Rife's. I don't know who that is, Matt Rife, but I guess he's a comedian.
Yeah, he's a comedian.
And she got arrested because she pulled out her cell phone. They said, "Don't pull out your cell phone." They said, "Now you have to leave because you took out your cell phone." And she wouldn't leave, and the cops hauled her ass out of there. And she was just like, I'm getting arrested right now. This is ridiculous. It's like, is it though? I wonder if she offered any favors to the cops as they took her away. Like, let me go. Let me go. Come on. You've seen what I can do.
Jesus. We went from Sarah Palin dated Ron Duguay to Lisa Ann doing favors to the cops. Yeah,
Dave,
there's no way.
No, but that might be. Is it at all possible that Dave watched the video? Because I'm fairly confident that TJ was drinking the Dogfish 120. No,
TJ was drinking the Dogfish, the C one, the Sea Quencher.
Oh, the sea. Okay,
yeah.
Just a weird coincidence, I guess.
No, it's funny. My brother's been big on watching. They're rewatching like old wrestling videos, and his son and his daughter are really into it. So my brother's been watching a lot of wrestling lately. So
Dave, you've got to watch the Monday Night Wars on Peacock. That is an amazing documentary that just changes everything. If your kids like wrestling, also, and you want to show them like really good stuff, Young Rock is really good because it does a lot of flashbacks and has actors portraying different
like
wrestlers.
Giant,
there's an actor that plays. Yeah, somebody shows up and I don't think Ultimate Warrior is not in it.
We're not Ultimate Warrior. I'm thinking Macho Man. So.
Macho, Hogan, Triple H is in it. Well, not the Triple H, like an actor portraying younger Triple H, an actor portraying younger Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then there's this guy that plays Shawn Michaels, but he's not really Shawn Michaels. And The Rock tries to make Shawn Michaels look like a bad guy. And it's like, well, you didn't even have the balls to do it, man. Like you got a fake character that didn't exist to portray Shawn Michaels. Just say Shawn Michaels, man. Like, no balls. If you're going to embarrass somebody to the point where everybody who's watching knows who you're talking about, but you don't want to say their name, no balls.
It's because you
got no pebbles you got no pebbles down below, my friend.
He likes the Post Malone album too. I told you it's a good album. The Country.
I didn't say,
but he's right.
I didn't say
what you said.
Bad.
It became basically the rock.
TJ said that actually. TJ's actually, I asked TJ when he started listening to country music. All of a sudden, it came as if from nowhere. I was like, dude, since when do you listen to country music? He's like, there's no more rock music, man. And I thought about it, and I was like, he's absolutely right. But actually, the whole Bon Jovi thing is actually, I don't know if it's a common portmanteau. I don't know. But my friend Johnny, who's in a rock band, he actually said it to me once because I was singing a song. I think I was singing like Luke Bryan or something like that. And he's just like, nah, man, that ain't country. That's
Bon Jovi.
That's Bon Jovi, my boy Johnny Collins from the Johnny Collins band. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, it's Bon Jovi with a banjo. And I was like, wow, fucking hit the nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head with that one.
But meanwhile, while we've been ranting about different random topics, let's get into the sports stuff. We want to start with baseball. I
don't want to start with sports at all. I wanted to start with whiskey of the week so I can continue drinking.
I'm fine with that. So we want to fill it up. Hold on, let me see if I can find it first. Who finds it first? I forgot how this thing works.
It's right at the top, man.
Whiskey. Oh.
I hit the same. What happened?
Well, fucking press it now.
Whiskey. of the week.
I was up the bomb.
I said, I'm Michael Jackson. You're Tito.
Just trying to get some love. Well, what do you drink? What whiskey you got?
I don't know. Dave said that sounds awesome. I don't know if he meant Young Rock or if he was talking about Monday Night Wars. Monday Night Wars is amazing, Dave. It's a documentary. And it goes through like 8 or 9 different episodes that are like an hour long, talking about every single step of the Monday Night Wars. It's incredible. It's life changing. What do I got? My brother-in-law, a sweet man that he is. My sister and my brother-in-law went out to the United Kingdom before Christmas.
Oh, right.
And they went to England and they went to Scotland. And my brother-in-law, in his infinite kindness, because he's a sweet man,
some scotch. He's
always thinking about others. He actually went to Scotland and brought me back a little bit of the Balvenie. It's a 12-year double wood from all the way from Scotland.
Nice.
Smuggled it. Awesome. He smuggled
it. Don't say that. I'm gonna get into trouble. Nice scotch.
Listen, who's gonna fault a man? He keistered this.
You know what? It's like if you go through Social Security, they find it. They're like, you got that up there. It's more of a punishment to have to get that out than it is to get arrested. Like, yeah, take that out. Oh man, that's like TJ's joke.
What was that? What was that movie? The Interview, when the missile comes down and it kills the tiger as it's about to like kill him.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Interview?
I think I've seen parts of it. I never watched the whole thing.
With Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Yeah.
And they're shooting another like killing tab to them, and he goes out to go get it. And as he's out there, a Siberian tiger or a Bengal tiger or something like that comes out and it's attacking him. And right as it jumps onto him, the missile that's carrying the extra like killing tab of ricin hits the freaking tiger in the back of the head, killing it instantly. And then a whole bunch of North Korean soldiers are coming after Seth Rogen, and he's got this like canister that's got ricin in it that he's going to use to kill Kim Jong-un. And they're like, "What do you do?" Like, he's like, "What do I do?" And they're like, "You're going to have to shove it in your ass." Like, what? He's like, "You're going to have to shove it in your ass." I see you, Dave. Yes, the documentary. It's on Peacock. Watch it. It's called The Monday Night Wars, and it's narrated by Keith David, who is famous for he's the dad in There's Something About Mary. How'd you get the beans above the Frank? That's Keith David.
Oh, that's Keith David. Yeah.
He also does the voice of Goliath in Gargoyles.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Keith David's everywhere.
He's the villain in Princess and the Frog.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's kind of that's not heterosexual that you know that.
Well, I have 2 daughters.
So, yeah, sure. That movie came out before your daughters were born.
They still go back and watch it. I mean, they watched Little Mermaid. That movie came out before I was born. They watched that.
Which one?
The original one. Ariel.
Sure they did.
Well,
sure they did. He also plays General Kimsey in Armageddon. Which I totally forgot. I haven't seen Armageddon in forever. That movie is amazing.
Yeah, no, because they opened the new ride, Tiana. He was in Disney World for it, and he was on it. And the ride ended. His face was like annoyed. People were like, that's what happens when you go on the ride and you realize your character's not in it. Like, because he's the villain. He isn't. We don't have anyone to villain in the ride, and they invited him to go watch the ride, and he's like, I'm not even in this thing. He didn't say it, but his face looked like he was like, I'm not even in this thing. Why did I come? But whatever. People would joke around. But anyway.
Rightfully so. The man's an accomplished actor. He's done so many things. I like him in a lot of things too. He's in a veteran-made movie called Range 15 that was also really, really good. If you're a veteran, it's good. He was in a TV show called Enlisted, where he played the sergeant major, and that was I enjoyed that thoroughly as well. He does Saints Row. He plays Julius in Saints Row.
Are you on his IMDb right now? Just looking it up.
I completely forgot about it though. But he's in a lot of things that I absolutely love.
So as always, I have my bourbon. I usually don't go through anything else besides bourbon, but I got 1792 single barrel. It's actually tough to find this one. They were trying to sell it as like a special allocated bottle that one of my local liquor stores. And then I walked into another one and it was just like on the shelf and they had a bunch of them. And it was, I think they were trying to sell it for like 60, 65 to one place. I got it for like 40, 45 bucks. I was like, this is why you have to around for your bourbon. But anyway,
have I ever told
you? Sorry, go ahead.
What was it? No, I was gonna say, have I ever told you about the time I went looking for bourbon in Puerto Rico?
No.
No? Oh, it's
No,
an amazing story. It's an amazing story. So I'm in Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, my wife's aunt and aunt / godmother had passed away earlier in the year. It's about February. Her birthday would have been like that day. And my she liked bourbon. She liked Woodford Reserve. So Meredith goes, hey, do you I want to raise a glass to my aunt. It would have been her birthday today. I just want her to know we're thinking about her. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go find a bottle of Woodford Reserve because I used to drink with your aunt and I know that's what she likes. And I hop in the car with my uncle and we start going to all the stores that sell liquor. Not necessarily liquor stores, but like the stores that sell liquor. And we're looking everywhere and they've got, by the way, Puerto Rico for some reason has like 8 billion types of scotch. Don't know why.
Wait, tell me.
They've only got like 3 types of rum, but like 20 million categories of scotch. Don't know why. So I'm looking for this. I can't find it. I can't find it. I go to the. No, first of all, you can't have Puerto Rican scotch. Scotch has to come from Scotland. That's why it's called scotch.
True. I got it. Sorry, that was a stupid question. I'm out of it today. I had a
So we go to the first store, no luck. We go to the second store, they're closed. I'm like, who the fuck closes a liquor store? It's 7:00 at night. We go to the third store, they're open. They don't have it either. We get to the fourth store, and I'm looking. I don't see it. My uncle asked the guy behind the counter, like, yo, do you have bourbon? And the guy's like, no. And while they're having their separate conversation, I look down and I see vodka and then gin. And then there's this one bottle that is it's a square bottle, but I can only see it from the side. So it's like it's a rectangle bottle, but I can only see it from the side. So I only get about 2.5 inches of glass, but it's brown and it's by itself. And I go, watch this be it.
Yeah,
I pick it up and it's a big bottle of Woodford Reserve.
Yeah, because Woodford has that square bottle shape. Yeah.
And there's no other bottle in the place. None. There's no other bottle in the place. And I go to the guy, I go, I want to buy this. And he looks at me and he goes, we don't sell that.
How did that even get there?
He's like, where did you get that from?
Wow.
And I'm like, right there on the floor. And he's like, we don't sell that. I wouldn't even know what to charge you because we don't sell it. And I was like, I'm looking up like, oh,
yeah.
Thanks, Aunt Janet.
You should have been like, so I could just take this if you don't sell it.
Yeah. So I tell him, I go, listen, dude, it's $45. Yeah. Like here it is. I look it up online. I go, look, this is the same bottle. It's a $6.50 or whatever it is. I was like, it's $45. And he calls up the owner of the shop who wasn't there. And he's like, all right, I'll take $45. That works. Cool. Thanks. Get it out of here because we're not supposed to have it.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing though. But this Balvetti's good.
Yeah, that is a crazy story, especially like because you were doing it for her aunt. Like, what a miracle to find the bourbon like that. Anyway, 1792 single barrel. So I have a couple of 792s. Small batch is the one you typically find in the store. I found the full proof recently. I have that on my shelf, and I have the bottled and bond. All very good. 1792 is actually a really good bourbon company. The single barrel is just as delicious as the other one. So if you find this one, try not to get it a special place, but they have it on a shelf behind you. You don't need to spend money on that because they're going to charge like $65 for it because they consider it allocated. Oh, it was Wegmans. I walked into Wegmans liquor store and it was on their shelf. They had like 3 or 4 of them. And then there was like just $45. I was like, this is where that's
such a New Jersey thing to do, to go to fucking supermarkets and get liquor from supermarkets.
Well, no, you can't get you can only get liquor from a liquor store, but Wegmans has liquor store attached to it. So in New Jersey, you can't buy liquor in the shop.
Yeah, whatever. The moms need to go fucking shopping and drink some whiskey while they're doing their shopping out there in Jersey. There's nothing else to do.
But no, single barrel, very good. Bring the new year in with this one. This is very good. So Hopefully a prosperous new year with 1792. All right. How was
All
your
right,
bad
now we can move on to some sports.
Well, how was it?
This is actually really good. It's got a lot of wood flavors because it's double barreled in 2 different types of oak. So it's actually
Good.
Yeah, I just read what kind of oak. Oh, it's in a whiskey and a sherry oak.
Ooh.
So they'll put it in a whiskey oak. They'll take it out and then they'll put it into a sherry oak.
A little sweet.
It's a little sweet. It's spicy. It's spicy.
Oh, interesting.
Got a lot of spice to it.
Sweet. I think it's time to get into sports.
Yeah, let's do it. What do you want to do?
Let's start with baseball. I had it on the lineup as baseball, so let's do it real quick. I was say do it quick because we're not really talking about Yankees or Mets today. We're having talking about some of the rules they're trying to enact and like how Manfred just wants to ruin the sport for anyone who's enjoyed it prior to like I don't know 2020 maybe because it's
prior to when he became commissioner.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, because he's a joke. I think we both spoke about this on Beer It Takes. I don't know. Did you do it too? The golden at bat rule, or I did it?
I did not. No, I did not.
I did it, and I said if they enact the golden bat rule, I'm never watching baseball ever again. Remember the golden bat rule? They talk about this a little bit. I don't think
do. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Just have anyone at bat whenever you want, at least once in a game, which is just so stupid. It just ruins. It becomes rock and jock, right? It becomes like you have like P. Diddy and Derek Jeter put in the same team. P. Diddy, the most problematic person to talk about right now, but it'd be like like who is it? Joey Fatone and like A-Rod go to bat. And then being like, all right, instead of Joey Fatone, we're gonna have A-Rod bat. Like that's rock and jock. Like that's what.
Did anybody else find it weird that his name was Joey Fatone, and literally he was the heavy one in the group, and his last name was Fat One?
Yeah.
Nobody else found that strange.
It was strange, but no, with that rule though, like what happens if like Judge hits a double, right? And it's a tie game, or you're down 1.
Does he bat again?
I want my best hitter. Judge bats again. He's on second. Now we're gonna have a pinch runner go out there for Judge. And then Judge is going to.
I'm sure they'll make a rule that if the batter is on the
base, you can't do it. You never know, though. You never know with this Manfred guy. And the new rule today, they rumored they wanted to do was every pitcher has to go at least 6 innings, unless of 4 exceptions. They give up 4 or more runs, they get injured, or they hit 100+ pitches, which I think is a bogus rule. Because what if you're in the bottom of like we're saying the first inning. You pitch it out there, he gets 3 runs, no outs, bases are loaded. You can't go to your bullpen until he gives up 1 more run. Like that's so stupid. It's the same rule with the bullpen. That's why I hate the bullpen rule. Because it kind of screwed the Yankees because they brought Nestor Cortez in to face Ohtani, and they had to leave Nestor Cortez in the World Series for 3 batters before they took him out. If that was old school baseball, he would have got Ohtani. You would have brought in Tim Hill to face Freddie Freeman, and who knows, Yankees win the World Series.
If that had been old school baseball, they wouldn't have had fucking so many pitchers changing anyway. Old school baseball, your starter throws 9 innings.
That's true too. But that old school, like in 90s, they used to mix and match.
Not like that. Not one batter. Not one batter.
Did. Yeah, you did. You always have a lefty specialist. The lefty specialist to come in.
You're sitting here saying that fucking Mike Stanton would throw to 1 batter.
Not Mike Stanton. All right, that's like one example.
Why? He's a lefty. He was the lefty specialist. What are we talking about?
I know. Mike Stanton was different. He was.
You're talking about 2005, 2006, 2007.
Yeah,
in the
maybe
90s,
around there when they was like
threw a full inning, maybe 2 innings.
And they would do like they would have like who was the one that was always the guy from Baltimore that would always come in, and he was a lefty, not Zach Britton. Was another guy. He'd always come in just to face like Giambi, and then like they take him out of the game immediately. There was someone like that who was just
that's 2005, in the 90s. A reliever pitched a full inning.
Yeah, so like back then, like that would have been.
By the way, that shit in the 90s. That shit in the 90s is why they made the rules because they kept changing pitchers after every 1 batter.
Yeah,
and it made the game 5 hours long.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get why, but in the postseason, you should at least leave it where you could have your best players the best opportunities.
How about as a manager, you don't pitch a guy who doesn't fucking relieve in the World Series? You could do that, and then the Yankees win the game. I mean, you can do that. Like, you don't take a guy who's never pitched in relief in the last 2 years and go, "Oh, today you're a reliever, my friend." Yeah, no, it doesn't fucking work that way.
They should have had. I think they should have put Tim Helen.
That is as smart as Clay Holmes being the Mets' number 2 starter.
Hey, you never know.
When he hasn't started a game in like 3 years.
Yeah, he hasn't started a game in 3 years, but he'll be the number 2 starter.
Probably more than that. Probably like 6 years he hasn't started a game. And he's their number 2. If they told me he was their number 5, I go, okay, he's their number 5. But right now he's their number 2.
And then you have delusional Met fans saying that their rotation's better than the Yankees. Like, our 1-2 punch is better than yours. And like is it Kodai Senga and Clay Holmes versus who's their number 1 guy? For the Mets.
I want to say Soto.
No, I'm talking about the rotation wise, 1-2 punch.
Yeah, it's gonna end up being Soto. You making that much money, you better do more than what you're doing.
Because it's cold and free.
Shit, if you're just a good hitter, because he can't run and he can't field, so he better be pitching.
That's true. That's true. Ohtani. Yeah, but no, the cold free.
I'm just saying, like
cold free is definitely better than what the Mets have with like Holmes and Senga. Right?
Rodon is better than fucking Clay Holmes.
It's true. So
we'll trade the Mets back Stroman. They can take Stroman.
Did you see that? Oh, I didn't show you guys this, but apparently there's a rumor that the Yankees are going to trade Stroman and Ben Rice for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I'm like, why would they ever do that? Why would the Blue Jays ever do that?
Oh, because they can't afford to keep Vlad.
They can't. They can take Ben Rice at $18 million from Stroman.
That's better than nothing.
He gets paid $18 million next year.
That's better than nothing. And they like Stroman. Stroman was on their team.
He was on their team.
It's still not going to happen because Vlad's worth more than that. They would have to add another player. You'd have to add another player.
I think it's a terrible trade proposal for whoever wrote that. Was like, would you do this? Like, yeah, if you're a Yankee fan, of course you do it. But if you're
plus of course, Vlad said he'd never play for the Yankees.
He did say that, right?
And quite frankly, I don't prefer to have a less successful David Ortiz on my team. There's another fat slob who can't play first base.
Sure. They don't want to be a DH too, and then he can't do that. Then he still have a hole at first base. But anyway, that was baseball. We can move on to football and hockey.
I think there's one more thing about baseball. I'm trying to remember what it is. I feel like somebody just got traded or signed or something like that. Oh, the Baseball Hall of Fame ballots are out. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Baseball Hall of Fame ballots are out.
CC Ichiro, first year.
CC and Ichiro are on it. Ichiro should definitely get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. They're saying he might be unanimous.
You know what? Somebody's not going to do it. The same reason Jeter didn't get in unanimously.
Yeah, but Mo got in unanimously.
I understand that, and I guarantee you there's some reporter going, fuck, I shouldn't have voted for that guy.
That's true. Someone's regretted it. Someone's like,
somebody immediately was just like, really? We let a reliever get unanimously? Babe Ruth wasn't unanimous. What the fuck?
The Boston
Red Sox. I'm never voting for somebody on their first go round again.
Everyone's like, oh, the Boston Red Sox not going to vote for Mo. Well, we're good. We're good. He'll get unanimous. And then he was like,
that's what it was.
I'm going to mess this
up. Definitely what it was.
But yeah, no, I think I'm excited. This should be a good class. Hopefully, if voting actually goes the way it's supposed to go, it never really does because the baseball writers in America are assholes. But
what I need to happen is I need the Yankees or some team that's hard on their luck to call up A-Rod and be like, come grab an at-bat today. I need the Giants to call up Barry, hop in for an at-bat today. We're restarting your clock. And these reporters need to get their heads out of their assholes because they only had the reporters, the league, the fucking owners, the other players on the team. The players today, you're only getting contracts like you're getting today because of those guys.
Yeah, 100%. If
A-Rod isn't the player that he is, steroids or not, if he's not the player that he played that won that $25 million a year contract, that 10-year, $250 million a year, $250 million contract, Soto's not making $800 million now. It's not happening.
No. And at the time, A-Rod was
The Yankees aren't worth $7.2 billion. Like, because 25 years ago, the Yankees were worth like $1.2 billion.
Yeah.
And now they're worth 7.25 or some shit like that. How did that happen? All right. Without guys like Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and Roger Clemens, people aren't watching baseball anymore. People, for those of you who don't know, baseball was on its way out after the strike in '94.
Yeah, it was going downhill.
They saved the game.
Yeah.
Much akin to Babe Ruth saving the game after the Black Sox scandal.
Yeah. And then you have the fact that, like, they're not even the Hall. Like, oh, they're shunned basically from the Hall. They want to do a steroid wing. Actually, be okay if they're just in a steroid wing. I mean, who cares? Like, we acknowledge what it is. We know what that period was. What's his name? Seelig let it happen. Otherwise, people would have died.
Saying, "Oh, we have a steroid ring" is stupid because you don't know who you didn't catch that's in the Hall of Fame.
That's true. Like David Ortiz.
David Ortiz got caught. He's in the Hall of Fame anyway.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's bullshit. It's
all
all
the drug test. Because all the Boston fans will be like, "He didn't test. He was for over-the-counter shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I can make shit up too." They really never got into the resolution of what happened there.
Yeah, because
there were only 3 names that were released.
It's the same way Jeff Kent won't get in because the Baseball Writers of America vote for the people who they like instead of who should actually deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And that's
absolutely. And I mean, look at this. Well, I'm fairly certain that Ivan Rodriguez was on the Mitchell Report. He's in the Hall of Fame.
In the Hall of Fame, yeah. But Roger Clemens is in, Barry Bonds, A-Rod. Like, they're the biggest names, like, our generation growing up watching those guys play. And then Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. I mean, Sammy Sosa may not have as much after besides the home runs, but what he did was incredible. I think, did he have three seasons of 60+
home runs? Yeah.
It's never done before. He's the only person who does it. He's not in the Hall of Fame. It's just every time. That's what I hate about the Hall of Fame because every time I talk about it, it pisses me off. It's like I just get so angry about it. I hate the Baseball Writers of America. They ruin everything.
They absolutely do. But we'll see who gets in. I think.
Same Altuve won the MVP over Judge in 2017 because the Baseball Writers of America voted Altuve over Judge. Judge was a rookie that year. He clearly was the MVP. His numbers were better than Altuve's, besides like a couple categories. But overall, collectively, he definitely won more categories.
His batting average. I think Altuve had a higher batting average.
That was the only one. Everything else he beat him in.
Yeah.
He should have been the MVP, but he wasn't because probably 1, he's a Yankee, and 2, the Baseball Writers of America is just like, oh, Altuve's he's a little underdog. He's 5'2". Everyone could step over him. He was like adorable. We gave the little guy, little MVP award. We had to shrink it down just to fit him, just to fit him on his wall. It's like right. It's like giving little Stuart Little an award. And then meanwhile, the guy was cheating the whole time.
Yeah.
Considering they love him so much, you would think they love Bonds and Clemens, all those guys. If they considered steroid cheating, they love the Astros in 2017, and they all cheated. So they love cheaters already. Absolutely. So it's just embrace it all. Steroids, guys, everything. But those are hypocrites. You said you hate hypocrites at the beginning of the show?
Those are hypocrites. Hypocriticizers, if I ever did see them. Moving forward. Very briefly, the Rangers suck. Right now, they're tied 2-2 with the Devils.
Wow. They scored 2 goals with the Devils?
From that wannabe New York State. Zach Jones was authorized to go seek a trade today.
Yeah, well, he should. There's no development in young players, so might as well. We'll just trade you away for aging veterans and go nowhere every year. That's where they're
big contracts.
Big contracts, big wasted contracts.
They blew their nut like 2 years ago when they made it to the conference finals, and that was it. It's been nothing ever since. But they're involved in this team. Were they in the conference finals last year?
Yeah, they lost to Florida. They were up 2-1, and they lost the last 3 games.
That's right.
And they're up 2-0 against Tampa 2 years ago, and they blew that one.
And they did nothing to improve over the course of the last 2 years.
Well, that's what happens when that's the definition of insanity. Just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
Drury in a nutshell. Drury, Cashman.
is-
Cashman. I mean, at least Cashman got to a World Series this year, but Cashman's the same way. He doesn't really improve the team that much. This year, he's doing
No.
more.
Not
This
since,
offseason
not
than
since
he
2000 and not since 2008's offseason. He hasn't done anything crazy.
and this year was pretty
Even
good.
this offseason.
Not as crazy
I
as
think
that, but
it was decent, but you got to remember 2008, 2009. He's
No,
bringing in guys in their prime.
yeah, he brought CC, Tex, and Burnett in. And we
AJ.
didn't think they would get Tex after they got CC.
Yeah.
They went for it that year. I mean,
But
this
like
year,
bringing in Goldschmidt, he's older. I have zero, and
right?
I expect very little from Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, he's a little righty,
And that's not me trying to put on him. It's just that he's older. That's all.
Aging.
He was a spring chicken. I think he and I might be the same age. I'm
Yeah,
37.
I actually don't want to call him old because I think we're all the same age. I'm just saying
He's old for a baseball player.
Yeah, he's just aging.
Paul Oldschmidt.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I don't like that move. I think they would make a splash somewhere else for first base, but I mean, the fact they got Freed, right? That was a good move.
I'm actually older than Paul Goldschmidt.
Oh,
He's older than you, though.
Oh, was he born in between us, like August?
Yeah, he's
July?
September 10th, 87.
Oh, September 10th.
That's actually my niece's birthday.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
87 though.
Not 87, no.
Not 87.
He's a year younger than Brett. I'm sorry, not a year younger. No, he is. He's a year and a day younger than Brett, my wife.
And then, of course, the Yankees. So we'll see what happens with the Rangers. They're going to end up blowing up this whole team. The coach is going to get fired. The GM is going to end up getting fired.
Yeah,
I honestly have no idea what they're doing.
The Kako trade really
Say that again.
The Kako trade really pissed me off.
Yeah,
that's when I was done with him. That annoyed me because he's getting top line minutes and he's actually playing really well in Seattle. And it's like you could have just done that here. Just drop Mika down and let him play, or drop Kreider down and let him play. Like those guys are not performing to what they used to be. And he's a young guy. He's 23 years old.
It's seeming more and more like the Rangers are getting like the Yankees, where we're paying top dollar for a team or for a player, and we don't want that player to lose time to a guy who's making less money. We're going to make them earn their paycheck.
Yeah, basically.
Whether or not they're helping the team, they don't care that, we're going to make you earn a paycheck, and that's just like such an asinine mindset. It's like, okay, so let me get this straight. This guy's not playing well. But you're paying him top money and you refuse to basically lose money on your investment. So you're going to keep playing him despite the fact that he's not good because you've already invested so much money.
Basically,
it's almost like when we're playing at the slots and we just keep throwing money until we hit a jackpot, because at this point we already hit $100 in the slot machine or $150 in the slot machine. And you're just like, I got to walk away with something.
Yeah,
as opposed to just cutting it loose and being like, fuck it, I lost $100. It's over.
I can't relate to that at all. Idiots.
That's right. You do it at roulette.
Hey, no. We did it. We did the group betting with the slot machine. All stuff, $20 each. We made our $20 back, and then we bet whatever we won. We were up like 100, and then we bet that away. And then we're like, oh, we'll throw the 20 back in again. And then it's like, all right, we just lost $40. This is each. Not the worst thing, but collectively lost like 200.
But yeah, that seems to be what the Rangers are doing right now. Guys are making too much money, and they just refuse not to play them because they're making too much money to not play.
Yeah, basically, that's pretty what.
Because I'd scratch a few guys on that team at this point.
Yeah,
like Mika's advantage, I would just be a healthy scratch every day.
Yeah, Kreider's injured now too. He's in the IR, so it's like, so you were playing him while he was hurt because it was retroactive to Sunday. It's like.
Well, he was a healthy scratch while we were in
AC. Yeah,
while we were in AC. I wonder if that's the same thing.
I wonder if it was. I bet you remember he wasn't really healthy, and they just said it was a healthy scratch. I don't know. Maybe it's got to make a move if you make an IR. I don't know. Who knows? But either way, they're not really doing much this year, and it kind of sucks because I love watching hockey, and it's always a fun, especially playoff hockey, and it just seemed like that's not happening for us. And we'll wait for the draft, and then we're going to be in in the Miami slop fest. Put a rink out in Miami and have two teams play on it. That should be fun.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, why?
Yeah, I think they just wanted to do like somewhere else besides like the cold, I guess. I don't know. They did it once in Lake Tahoe, and that was a disaster because I think it was Vegas versus San Jose or something, and they postponed the game to like 11 p.m. Eastern time because the sun was reflecting off the ice a certain way, so no one could see. And then on top of that, the ice was getting like not as cold. So
that's what happened at MetLife, wasn't it?
Happened where?
At MetLife, no.
No, MetLife was fine because it was freezing that day.
No, I could have sworn
MetLife wasn't freezing.
Happened.
It happened.
They delayed the game for like an hour and a half because the ice kept melting.
No, because the glare. It was the glare for MetLife. That was the glare. It wasn't because it was melting. At LA, it was melting too. They did it once at Dodger Stadium for the Kings, and that was like melting, and that was a pain. And then I remember when they had when at City Field. I went to the game. That game was freezing. The wind chill, like dropped like 15 to like 20 degrees on top of how cold it already was, and they had to switch sides for the last period because they thought it was unfair to have the Rangers have first and third period because of how windy it was. So at the end, they were in the middle of playing the game. Like at the 10-minute mark, they blew the horn and they made teams switch sides because it was so windy that game. So it's always a weird thing when you do outdoor hockey. I mean, you never know. The weather could cooperate or could not. So, but it's fun. It's always a fun atmosphere. But
yeah,
Miami. I mean, I know that. What is that? That stadium has a roof though, right? They could close it in.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it's not going to be like outside of Miami. So it could be like, they control the climate inside. I'm sure the roof's probably not going to be open for that game. So it won't be a sloppy mess, but it just seems weird having a game in Miami.
Sloppy mess is a delicious meal that comes from Shop and Eat.
Yeah, it is. They should do it in Arizona next year.
Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding?
Right. Wrong one. My bad. Knicks are doing good. They're in third place in the East.
Yeah,
I mean,
quite well.
I mean, they're doing pretty damn good.
Karl Anthony Towns is playing really well, and I think they won 8 straight, and they lost three straight. So they're on a hot streak.
They're third in their conference. They're second in their division. Yep. Behind Boston.
They won yesterday.
Yeah. They won yesterday against the Raptors.
Yeah. Jalen Brunson's still great. So
Jalen Brunson is still great.
He is one of the best free agent signings the Knicks ever had.
Speaking of Jalen Brunson, they mentioned him. I read. I don't know if somebody mentioned him on Raw, or if a wrestler tweeted about him. I want to say they mentioned him on Monday Night Raw.
Well, he was on
MSG.
Yeah, he should. Yeah.
So they mentioned him on Monday Night Raw. By the way, I watched it. I was unimpressed. 3 hours of wrestling. They only had 4 matches.
It was more like they try to make it more like a pay-per-view, that first one.
Pay-per-views have more than 4 matches. If I'm watching 3 hours of wrestling, there better be wrestling incorporated with that 3 hours of wrestling.
No, you're right. I mean, pay-per-views.
Like, I'll let you know right now, like, not to get too far into the weeds about it, things I hated about Raw. 1, The Rock threw away a segment. Like, he threw away the last year of development between him and Cody. Like, last year, he's putting Cody's face through a car window, and he's bleeding him, and he's like, I'm the final boss, and it's raining, and he's like, I'm the final boss, motherfucker. And then this year, they're hugging, but there was no end to the whole, like, you just beat me to within an inch of my life. It was just like, you almost beat me to an inch of my life last year. Now I'm sitting in the seats, and you're thanking me for carrying the belt for the last year, whereas last year, you put my head through a fucking window.
Yeah, they kind of like, I felt like
threw away a story, a whole year's worth of development just thrown away for Netflix.
I felt like they kind of like pulled the curtain back a lot, that Raw. Well, they made it seem like we're not wrestling, we're entertainment. Like, we're not
terrible.
The storylines are fake. The Rock loves Cody real life, and we're just gonna let everyone know that. Like, which we already knew. Like, I'm sure they're friends outside, But you like the whole point of the wrestling is to have that storyline grow to make you invested into what's happening. And they kind of just pulled the curtain back and made it seem like it was nothing. It was weird.
They will never understand how good kayfabe was.
Yeah.
They will never understand that I really thought the Undertaker and Kane were related.
Brothers. They understand that I thought Mae Young gave birth to a hand.
They'll never get that we had pimps and hoes on the show and porn stars.
Mark Henry, I can't believe Mark Henry married Mae Young. That was the wildest storyline.
They'll never understand that I saw Triple H and Stephanie McMahon get married, and she was drugged.
Yeah, in a drive-thru, right?
He was drugged, and he's driving in Vegas. I saw it. Okay, you will never understand that Dominic Mysterio is probably Eddie Guerrero's son.
He is. He looks like Eddie more than he looks like Ray.
I'm just saying, like, they had the whole battle, the ladder match for custody of Dominic Mysterio. Seeing where we are now in 2024 or 2025, seeing what Dom looks like, fairly certain that was true.
That was 100% true. He looks just like Eddie.
The greatest swerve in the history of wrestling. They don't get it.
Yeah.
We drive on. They both suck.
They're both.
But at least the Jets got to ruin the Dolphins season where they cracked out.
That's true. That's fun. Giants just
lots of coaching carousel. Did you see the latest coaching carousel? Like, here's my big problem, right? The PR around the coaching carousel just bothers me. And the reason I say that is because I saw somebody post something about how the Patriots firing Gerard Mayo after one season is racist. Well, he had a losing season. And B, and here's the problem, right? If the Patriots like Mike Vrabel more, right?
Yeah.
Right? Why do I have to be concerned about who my head coach is on a losing team if I want to hire somebody that I like more? That would be like sitting there saying, like, if I was dating a black woman, like, I can't break up, and then the love of my life all of a sudden was single. You can't break up with her. If you break up with her, it's racist. What? Yeah. I want to be with somebody else. Why is that a problem?
Listen,
because that's basically what's happening. It's like the Patriots like Vrabel more for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. But immediately everybody goes to the whole, it's because he's white. Is it though? You can't say that definitively.
Well, I feel like
why give Mayo the job at all then?
The Rooney Rule, I know people say it's supposed to help because it gets them like opportunities to be interviewed, but like kind of like hurts them.
Bullshit. I think that shit is bullshit. It's the Rooney Rule is basically a token interview. That's it. I'm just giving you an interview because
I was just saying I think it actually ruins their chance to get hired because they call him in just to fill a quota and then be like, all right, we're gonna hire this guy anyway. Like Mike Vrabel, the Patriots love Mike Vrabel. They brought in Byron Leftwich and I think might have been like someone else just to fill that quota, just so they could hire Vrabel.
Well, did you hear Aaron Glenn turn them down?
Oh, really?
He said, I'm not going to interview with you.
Really? Interesting.
Now, I don't know if that's because he felt
interview him.
I don't know if he felt that it was like futile to even interview with them because he has a feeling that they're going to hire Vrabel. Or maybe it's, he's a former Jet and he's like, fuck the Patriots.
Oh, true. He is a former Jet. So he said he was going to. I think he accepted the invite for the Jets, right? The Jets requested.
He did. He did accept an invitation to interview with the Jets.
What do you feel about?
I don't recall if that happened yet.
What do you feel about the Jets interviewing Rex Ryan to be their next coach?
Listen, I love Rex as a coach. I really do. As a Jets fan, as you can see, I'm apathetic at this point. I don't think there's anything that they can do or anyone they can hire that can fix this right now. I truly believe they're cursed, and you'll see some sort of progress in the right direction when Joe Namath pays his due to the devil.
That's true.
I know people are going to say, oh, it's so messed up. You can't say that. I'm not wishing any ill on Joe Namath. I'm just saying is I know a hex when I see a hex. And that man sold us out for a Super Bowl before I was born. And there's somebody out there who's gonna be like, well, at least your team has a Super Bowl. It happened before I was born. It happened well before I was born. It may as well have not happened. It's like if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, did it fall? Or does it make a sound? Same shit. Like, I can't prove or disprove that Super Bowl even took place.
Yeah, but also the thing is, too, not even that, like, you have your team is a Super Bowl. First of all, it's 1969. Secondly, you haven't seen a playoff game since what, Mark Sanchez? When was the last playoff game?
Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez is a great American.
Was that 13 years ago now?
14
years ago for the last Jets playoff game. Like, it's not like you came in like, oh, at least your team has one. Like, you never saw it. And you don't get
almost like a third of my life. That's almost a third of my life.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks.
Sad.
But playoffs.
But yeah, I truthfully don't think that there's anything that's helping this franchise right now.
No, I mean it's a mess, and the Giants are too. I think John Mara. Listen, I actually like they kept Shonen Dable because I think they should get at least one more year. I know that's probably an unpopular opinion from Giants fans. I think they should. I think you have to give him a little bit of time. If you were able to give Gettleman that much time to destroy your franchise, you have to give the guy who's a first-time GM a couple years to get like his feet under him. And it's the first-time GM and a first-time head coach. Dable had a good first year. You know, that might have been whatever, but I think give him at least one more shot. The draft this past year wasn't that bad as people think. Like people see, like they keep looking at Schoen's 2 first drafts, but the last draft they had was pretty good. Neighbors, Drew Phillips, Theo Johnson, Tyrone Tracy. Those are 4 guys that contributed this entire year for this team. And if he could build on that next year, figure out the quarterback situation, maybe this team gets better. I think the only thing that's holding him back is in his first year, he had Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau when he had 2 picks in the top 10, and neither of those guys. Evan Neal's terrible. He barely plays, and Kayvon Thibodeau has not been the factor that they thought he was going to be. I think that's what.
I could have told you that. I could have told you that before you drafted him.
Yeah, I mean, they could have went somewhere else with that pick, but you know, that's what it is. But
they could have had Jermaine Johnson.
They could have. Yeah, that was. Yeah. So,
but I digress.
But the college football playoffs are on right now. Penn State's up 10-0 on Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame was actually favored in this game.
I fucking hate Notre Dame.
I know. Rudy. You love Rudy. That's why.
No, I hate Notre Dame because Notre Dame is still popular because of fucking Rudy.
Yeah.
They have not won anything of any significance since like 1989 or something like that.
I think they went to one national championship against Alabama. That was one year. That was it, though. They lost.
I think they were they went to the co-national championship game and lost.
Now, was it a co-national championship game that year? I think it was going to be
when it was Texas and USC or something like that.
Not that one. It was the the 1 year. The last time was the year before the college football playoff. I think 2012, 2013, something like that. It was Manti Te'o. Manti Te'o was a linebacker. But we have NFL playoffs this weekend too. They hate Notre Dame. But yeah, I mean, listen, wild card weekend. Texans are slotted in for their usual slot. Saturday, 3:30. Did you see this? Every Texans playoffs that they made is always on Saturday at 3:30. It's like the same exact.
It's on Saturday at 4:30.
Oh, 4:30, 3:30, whatever it is. They're always in that first game.
It's 3:30 their time. It's 3:30 their time.
Their time. All right. So then, either way, I think it's pretty funny that they're always slotted into that first Saturday every time they make the playoffs. It's like,
well, it's because they're in a shitty conference. So
and the market's probably not as great as other teams are.
What's that?
I said the market probably isn't as great as other teams that are playing.
I wouldn't say that. They're in Houston. Houston's one of the largest cities in America.
Yeah, but I'm saying would you say a Houston fan base is more than the Packers fan base?
Yes. Houston is a bigger city than fucking Green Bay, Wisconsin. I've been near Green Bay, Wisconsin. There's nothing there but the stadium.
I'm not talking about the stadium or the city-wise. I'm saying the Packers are more, I think, nationally.
The fandom?
Yeah. Like nationally, probably.
I've only ever met one person who wasn't from Wisconsin that's a Packers fan?
I've only met one person that was from Houston that was a Texans fan. So like,
how many people from Houston do you know? Just that
like,
one guy. That's it. Yeah.
No, 3 or 4. It was a couple of girls I went to law school with. They were one girl was a Texans fan. The other people didn't care about football. So, but I'm saying nationally known, the Packers carry more juice than the Texans do. It's just what it is.
Fair enough.
Because the history's there.
Yeah,
you know?
All that history from before fucking the football was inflated.
And I'll leave you on this note. They moved the Rams game because they were playing in LA. Obviously, we know what's going on in LA. So, obviously, thoughts and prayers to everyone who's in LA dealing with these wildfires. And if you lost your house, it's terrible. Terrible scene. If you watch it, those videos and stuff are absolutely insane. But they moved the Rams game. Rams went to they're playing in Arizona, in Glendale, Arizona. They moved the game completely. So that's gonna be a strange atmosphere for that game. I think it's a Monday night game too. Who's it? Rams.
It is. It's Rams Vikings.
Rams Vikings. Yeah, Monday night too, which is weird. But
I don't know about you. I'm rooting in this playoffs. I'm rooting for the Lions, and I don't know. I'm rooting for the Lions. Fuck it. I'm rooting for the Lions or the Commanders to win the Super Bowl.
I'm rooting for the Lions, definitely for the Lions, and I'm gonna go Ravens too because I want everyone to shut up. The Lamar's not better than Josh Allen. Lamar's amazing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really rooting for the Ravens, but I don't dislike the Ravens. I actually like John Harbaugh. His brother, on the other hand, I can't stand Jim Harbaugh, but I actually like John Harbaugh.
Yeah, John Harbaugh is a cool guy. I mean, listen, the Ravens destroyed the Giants that one Super Bowl. But other than that, I don't really have any beef with them. And Lamar Jackson's a really good. He brought my team to second place in fantasy. Couldn't bring it home, but that's not his fault. That's my fault for mismanaging the rest of the team. But he's a solid fantasy player, so I'm a big fan of Lamar.
God, this isn't a post fantasy fucking press conference, okay?
But no, Lamar Jackson should be the MVP. His numbers are better than Josh Allen's.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And we'll end on that. Lamar Jackson for MVP. Vote while you can.
And I have a slip in my betting app. So if he wins, I win some money. So there's no alternative motive for Lamar Jackson to win at all whatsoever.
That's all we got. We'll catch you again next week. Take care, everybody.